Hello, toy fans, and welcome back to 13 Days of Halloween! That's right, toy fans, we're still moving along through 13 Days of Halloween. It is day 10, and before you, we've got the Spider-Man and Green Goblin Best of Minimates 2-pack released by Asylum and Diamond Select. The Best of Minimates series is a line where Diamond Select goes and looks at some popular figures from the past, does some minor tweaks to them, and repackages and re-releases them for all of those like myself who missed out on these great characters the first time. Now, while I already have a few Minimates Spider-Man figures, I do not have a Minimates Green Goblin, so I'm really looking forward to checking this box set out. As you can see here, we do have the classic sort of cartoon image of Minimate Marvel characters in the upper left. We've got the Minimates logo there at the top. We've got a window box packaging that houses the two figures inside, and then we have the names for the figures there at the bottom, as well as some images of what those figures look like in concept. Flipping this package around, we've got the logos for Diamond Select, Asylum, Marvel, and Minimates at the top. We've got a complete lineup of all the figures available on this wave of Best of Minimates. Then we've got a bio for Spider-Man, and a bio for Green Goblin. Alright, Spook fans, that's the packaging. Let's get these bitter rivals out of the box and see what they're all about. Alright, toy fans, here we have these Minimates out of the packaging, and I'm going to spoil things up front. This is a 2-pack that you definitely want to buy. Taking a look at the Spider-Man up close, he's got some great printed detail on his body. All the webbing lines are there on the figure, as well as some nice musculature design. He actually has underarm webs, which I wasn't expecting when I first saw him in the packaging, but you know, it's kind of growing on me. It doesn't get in the way of articulation at all, and it's just kind of a nice little touch to make him look like the classic Spider-Man figure. I really like the way that the eyes came out. Very, very clean paint applications on this guy. He's got a display stand like you see here. He also has a pretty cool second accessory. He's got this Peter Parker head. Now, this head looks like it's reusing the hair sculpt from the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man Minimate series line. I don't think this was the hair sculpt used in the original Spider-Man release with the Peter Parker head, but it's sculpted very nicely, if not a bit modern perhaps for Spider-Man. And then we also have what we've seen before with Spider-Man figures, the sort of coiled web. And I've had a couple of these now, and I can never seem to get the web to fully straighten out. But it's pretty cool for wrapping guys up and just kind of hooking it around them and having your villain captured. And Green Goblin's actually a pretty sweet prize as well. He's got a ton of nice detail on him. You can see the scales have been printed on his arms and legs. I love that maniacal grin on his face. I mean, that's just really, really creepy. He's got a pretty cool pumpkin bomb hand, and that pumpkin bomb is sculpted pretty nicely. He's got sort of the man bag that we saw even with the Gambit earlier this year with the X-Men 275 Minimates. That same sculpt, colored just a little bit differently. Probably, though, the Green Goblin had this bag before Gambit, if I had to guess. But then there's a lot of nice detail there on the torso of the figure. Rotating him around, the paint kind of stops on the back, but really a very, very nice looking Minimate figure. But the fun doesn't stop there with Green Goblin. We've also got a really cool detail with the flight stand for this Goblin figure. I like the way that the flames are kind of billowing here at the bottom. There's some nice sculpted effects on the actual flame pieces. It's a nice sort of translucent orange plastic, and then the glider itself does look really, really good. There's only one peg to hold the figure in place, which really is actually the way you want it. You can kind of position him around with that. Nice sculpted detail on the wings of this piece. Looks just like the classic Green Goblin glider, and it is removable from this flame stand. There you go. You could actually have it rotated around if you wanted to have Goblin more in a takeoff position, I suppose, but the figure is kind of leaning back pretty far when you stick him on there like that. I prefer to have it rotated the other way around, so you can kind of have him lurching forward and attacking Spider-Man. And then Goblin as well has an alternate head sculpt. You can see here we have this Norman Osborn head sculpt. And again, not as maniacal as the Green Goblin face. He definitely looks pretty high-strung and crazy. Lastly, if you don't want Green Goblin holding his pumpkin bomb, and come on, why wouldn't you? You do have an alternate hand that you can actually swap out, and it helps you create sort of a more neutral-looking Green Goblin pose. Both of these Minimate figures have all the standard articulation you come to expect from the line. The heads are on ball joints so they can look down, look up, rotate all the way around. Full rotation here at the shoulder, as well as bending up from the body that far. Single jointed elbows that collapse in that far. And then a wrist rotation, no finger articulation, way too small. Full waist rotation, hip joint so the leg can move forward that far, move back that far, bend all the way back at the knee, and then we have a rotation here at the ankle. As always, a great range of articulation for such a tiny little minifigure. Height-wise, we can see that these Minimate figures do stand right around 2.5 inches tall. For some size comparison, here they are compared to the Mega Block Spider-Man minifigure, and compared to Creo Transformers Cheetor. Here they are compared to a standard Lego minifigure. And compared to one of the original Minimate figure lines released in 2002, we've got Captain Kirk from Star Trek. Here we have Spider-Man compared to the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Spider-Man Minimate, and the Ends of the Earth Spider Armor Minimate that I reviewed earlier this year. And finally, here they are compared to an average-heighted Wolverine Minimate figure from the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 figure line. I hate you, Parker! Really? Because killing my girlfriend didn't tip me off. Now, you two. Alright, toy fans, well, that's my review of the Marvel Minimates Best of Wave Spider-Man and Green Goblin minifigures released by Asylum and Diamond Select. Overall, as I said at the beginning of this video, this is a really cool Minimates 2-pack. You get some quintessential Marvel characters and their classic looks, and some great accessories to go along with them. I especially like the Norman Osborn and Peter Parker heads that have been included. So whether you're a Minimate collector or just a Spidey fan, this is definitely a box set you don't want to miss out on. Well, thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below, are you pro or anti underarm webbing on the Spidey costume? Personally, I usually prefer his costume without. Be sure to keep up with me on Instagram and Twitter at D21Beast, and I'll see you tomorrow with another 13 days of Halloween review. Ha 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 ha!